Welcome to Late Night Review, the show where we talk about what's happening.
And what's not.
I'm your host, Javier Lopez.
And I'm Kaylie Law.
And here are tonight's top stories.
This month marks the 1-year anniversary of the first COVID-19 restrictions and waves of partial lockdowns in the United States. And oh man, did we really f this up, y'all.
The United States government has just approved a second stimulus check for the American people. And almost simultaneous to the check, universities everywhere have increased their tuition bill. Interesting. Following a promotion in which a franchise would give any person with the word salmon in their name and 5 of their friends a free meal, the Taiwanese government has had to urge its citizens to not change their name over sushi. With the Taiwanese government only allowing citizens to change their name at max 3 times, many are worried that citizens will be stuck with salmon as their name. Honestly, these are the kind of promotions I want. Can you imagine if McDonald's did this in the US? The amount of people named Big Mac would be both hilarious and horrifying.
A group of scientists from the University of Arizona have suggested a potential global insurance policy for Earth's inhabitants. A giant sperm bank hidden under the surface of the moon. This modern arc, as the study's author describes, would function as a stepping stone to an eventual planetary exodus, as they consider that Earth is perhaps becoming too volatile and unstable to predict long-term stability of life. Putting excess effort into abandoning a situation instead of understanding and mending the one you're currently in sounds like my last boyfriend. And my dad. And my therapist. Oh my God.
A new Stanford study claims that Zoom meetings actually trigger our fight or flight reflex. And as if fighting the urge to fight your classmates wasn't bad enough, now you have signs on your side to throw hands. Virtually, though.
A recent study published in the Behavioral Ecology and Sociobiology journal posits that about 85% of male insects mate with other male insects because they do not take the time to find out about their mate's gender, which is roughly the bug equivalent excuse of, listen, it was dark and I just slipped and then I was inside him, man. I don't know what to tell you, I just was.
An apparently secret medieval-era tunnel was found by an energy company in the UK. Following the discovery, archaeologists flocked to the site for excavation. In other news, the previously unbeaten world record champion hide-and-seeker's body has been found, and you would never believe where.
Mike Winkleman, a digital artist known online as Beeple, ended an auction for his most recent digital collage to the tune of $69 million. Making the most expensive digital artwork in history thus far an NFT. Reports say that the buyer will be paying in an installment plan of $420 a month for the next 80,085 years, as these are the only numbers that crypto carriers understand.
President Joe Biden recently released a statement claiming that everything will be back to normal just in time to celebrate the 4th of July. With many people criticizing the vaccine distribution timeline, the Biden administration responded by saying they could actually get everything normal by June, but stated that really wasn't American enough.
With some of the strictest gun legislation in the world, Japan has been living in bliss with incredibly low rates of gun violence, with only 3 people killed by firearms in the entire nation in 2017. The same can't be said for crossbows, however, with over 32 cases of crossbows used in crime since 2011. Holy shit. Sources say the penalty for illegal possession of the weapon in Japan could be a $5,000 fine, up to 3 years in prison, and a yee-yee-ass haircut to match your yee-yee-ass choices.
Customs detained over 70,000 Rick and Morty themed vape pens worth over $1.5 million at O'Hare Airport recently. Although they were able to handle the situation, Customs claimed what was even worse for the thousands of jokes of, "I've turned myself into a vape pen, Morty," jokes that followed. Police are still making a rap.
One hardback copy of Dr. Seuss's children's book, And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, is currently being sold for $10,000 on eBay, as well as several other titles of the 6 books recently withdrawn from continued publishing by Dr. Seuss Enterprises earlier this month. The withdrawal comes at the corporation's own volition, as many illustrations within these selected titles have come to be recognized as racially insensitive, and their recent uptick in resale value shows it costs a lot of money to be racist.
Following a recent incident with President Biden's German Shepherd Major, the first dog has been sent to the doghouse. Major was apparently surprised by an unfamiliar person and reacted in a way that resulted in a minor injury to the individual. Fortunately, many of the White House staff were experienced in handling outbursts and acted according to previous guidelines. Unfortunately, this resulted in the White House staff temporarily deleting all government Twitter accounts in which they apologized. Old habits die hard.
Officials with Major League Baseball last week announced that select games in the Low A Southeast will be experimenting with robot umpires this season, among a slew of new rules intended to increase action on the base paths, more balls to play, and reduce player injuries. This development brings us one step closer to answering that age-old question. Would BB-8 be a good shortstop? I think so.
A recent photo of pop superstar Lady Gaga and actor Adam Driver has surfaced for the upcoming movie of House of Gucci. Many are curious about how this movie will play out, but one thing is for sure. No matter how much money you have, taking cheesy pictures of your parents on vacation is eternal.
For Late Night Review, I'm Kaylie Law.
And I'm Javier Lopez.
Good night.
Good night.
Some of us from Houston, some of us from Dallas, some close to Mexico. Shout out to the Valley. Watch Longhorn late.